What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Wood Spoon Cooking Show, and today we are making...
You say it?
Beans and greens.
Fagioli Escarole.
It's fancy. Alright,
no,
let's
it's
get
just
to
Italian. Okay, so we're starting this video now because your first step is soaking the beans. Please do not buy the beans in a can.
Great Northern.
Don't make beans and greens with beans from a can. It just doesn't come out right, okay? So, Great Northern beans, I went through them to make sure there was like no little stones or half beans in there. And we are gonna fill them up with cold water. And you want to cover them by like a couple inches because as they sit, they're going to soak up the water and the beans are going to expand. And just about this much.
And how long have we been on there for?
You're going to soak them overnight. So tomorrow we're going to put the beans and greens together. Okay, so while I was waiting, I boiled the escarole.
This
so
is also 24 hours after the beans.
Yes. So the escarole I bought was already bagged and washed and cut. So I did 4 huge bags, and then this is what it shrinks down to. So that's all done. And then we took the beans. You're gonna want to bring the camera over. Okay, so we took the beans. I rinsed them once. And then I drained all the water, put them in a pot, and covered it about an inch over the beans with water. And now we're just gonna cook it down. So it's gonna take quite a while to cook it down, like an hour or so. And as the beans start soaking up the water, you need to keep adding a little bit more water at a time. Okay, so we'll come back to this. Okay, so the beans are all cooked down. You can see they're all done. I just turned the burner off. So now we're gonna go to the next step. Okay, so you're gonna coat the bottom of the pan with extra virgin olive oil. It's about half a cup. And then I used the minced garlic. You're gonna put about 2.5 teaspoons in. And a little bit of crushed red, however much you want. If you don't like it, you don't have to add it. Okay. Saute that around for a minute. Ah, it smells good. Now you're going to add your escarole. I went through and drained it again just to make sure there was no more water in it because you don't want any water. I'm going to get all that in here. Saute this. And like I said, this was already chopped and pre-washed in the bags. I got it at Wegmans. Usually I used to just do the heads, but you gotta really wash it like 3 or 4 times because it's dirty. It gets a lot of dirt in it from the fields. And it does shrink down to barely anything. So you wanna make sure you get enough because you don't wanna do all this work and not, get a lot out. So, and a lot of people like beans and greens. Like a lot of places make it like a soup. We don't make it like a soup. I don't like it like that. My mom always made it nice and thick. And my mom, this is my mom's recipe. She gave it to me. Well, she doesn't measure anything, so. And I try to break it down for you guys as much as I can. But, so you wanna get all the oil and garlic all dispersed here. And we'll let that sit for a minute like that. Now we're gonna add the beans. And your beans are nice and creamy. See, you don't get them like this out of a can. That's why I know it's a little bit more work to, soak them and cook them, but it's really worth it. Look how creamy that is. My mom used to work at a restaurant called La Piazza. It was in the Rainbow Center, which doesn't even exist anymore.
In Niagara Falls.
Downtown Niagara Falls. And she actually had a food critic come in, and he reviewed her beans and greens and said it was the best he's ever had. So, nice and thick. Now we're gonna add salt and black pepper. Again, I don't measure. Use as much or as little as you want. And always, like, don't worry about the salt because you can always add more, so don't over salt. And we're gonna mix that up. Okay. And we're gonna let this cook for about 20 minutes. You don't want it on high because you don't want it to burn and you don't want it to stick. Look at that, you guys. So creamy. It's so creamy that my friend Sherry asked me one time, what kind of cheese did you put in it? And I'm like, there's no cheese in beans and greens. And she goes, but it tastes like there's cheese. It's the creaminess of the beans. That's why you gotta do the beans from scratch. Okay, we'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, we're turning the beans and greens off so you can see the consistency. Let me show you. It's all cooked and good to go. Now the last step is to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the top, cover it, and we're just gonna let it rest till we're ready to eat.
All right, guys, big food review. Beans and greens. See, I don't want to drop the bowl, but it's very hot for my mouth. Big review, one bite. It's perfect. Those are my favorite.
You just need that and a loaf of bread.
A piece of bread right here. No, it's not coming up. No, it's not scooping. Yeah. It's very good.
It's a lot of work to make it, you guys. So, like I said, if you're gonna make it, get enough of the escarole so you can make a big pot of it. You could freeze it too, but it'll stay in the fridge for a couple days. Or share with your neighbors, especially on a nice cold day. Come on, give it a review. Nobody wants to watch you eat.
8.8. Amazing. Why do you? It's a strict scale.
Because everything I make should be a 10.
Because like.
One day he'll give me a 10, you guys.
I don't know if I can. Is it possible? Never mind.
I mean, I birthed you. Would you want me to rate that against Mateo and Isabella? Should I give you a rating? Because you sucked. No, your birth sucked.
Okay, we don't have to talk about this on a cooking show. All right, catch you guys in the next episode. Let us know what you want to cook, what you thought. Send us pictures of your beans and greens.
Let us know if you have any questions. Okay, everybody stay safe.
Use code cookingshow at thewoodspoonstore.com. Get 10% off.
Okay, bye everyone.
Ciao. Let's go on,